Alright, I'm gonna fill out this bracket. I remember back in the day when we were filling out brackets, you used to have to wait. Yeah, you'd watch Selection Sunday, you'd see what happens, then you'd have to wait till Monday, the next day. Buy your local newspaper, wherever you're at. Get a USA Today, get your local newspaper. Cut the bracket out of the paper and get it Xerox copied. And then you'd have to fill it out by hand. Now, on your phone, that's all you gotta do. So, alright, we're gonna start in the South. Alabama State, yeah, they had a nice win over St. Francis last night, but yeah, they're 30-point underdogs. They're not gonna. A 16 has beat a 1 finally. It's happened twice, but it's not gonna happen here. We're gonna take Auburn. Louisville and Creighton. Yeah, Louisville's the most improved team in the country. They lost to Duke in the ACC title game. 27 wins. Got that kid Chucky Hepburn from Indiana. They're definitely an improved team. I don't know, an 8 seems kind of low. And they have a tough matchup with Creighton, who's a very experienced team. You know, I like Creighton. I'm going to go with Creighton. Michigan. They seem like they got kind of hosed on their seeding too, winning the Big Ten tournament over Wisconsin. They get a really tough matchup with UC San Diego, who's on a long winning streak right now. I think there's going to be an upset. I'm going to take the upset. I'm going to take the 12-5 upset. I'm going to take UC San Diego. And Texas A&M, SEC has been so tough against Yale. Yale's been in the tournament 3 years in a row. Remember, Yale beat Auburn last year. But I don't really. I think they could keep it close, but I'm going to take Texas A&M. Yeah, everyone's saying, North Carolina shouldn't have made the tournament. Slander in the Tar Heels. They went out and buried San Diego State last night. My man R.J. Davis, Ole Miss a 6 seed. Yeah, Chris Beard's a pretty good coach, but I wasn't impressed by Ole Miss. I'm going to take Carolina. Now, Iowa State's pretty good, but they're a little banged up. Lipscomb, and I think Iowa State's going to win that game. Marquette, Shaka Smart against New Mexico. I don't know why they love the Mountain West, but we're going to go with Marquette. Bryant, yeah, Phil Martelli Jr. Well, we're going to take Izzo and Michigan State. Now let's go down to the West. Florida, yeah, easy. Florida. UConn's going for a 3-peat. They're still alive until they lose. Oklahoma's pretty tough, but we're going to take UConn. Now, this game is very interesting, because I was looking at the odds on Memphis making the Final Four 65-1. FanDuel's got it 100-1. Caesars was 60, because they'd have to beat Colorado State, Florida, and St. John somehow. And they're the underdog to Colorado State. Well, Colorado State's on a long winning streak, but I like Memphis. I like Penny Hardaway in Memphis. Maryland, the Crab 5. Grand Canyon's good. 2 tournaments in a row. Tournament legend Bryce Drew. It could be an upset. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game, but we're going to take Maryland. Missouri. Yeah, Missouri's another very improved team. Against the Drake. We love the Drake. We're taking the Drake. Texas Tech and UNC Wilmington. We're going to go Texas Tech. Now, Kansas and Arkansas. Calipari and Bill Self. I know Kansas, they struggled this year, but I don't know. Bill Self, too much experience. We're going to go with Kansas. St. John's over Omaha. That's an easy one. Duke over American or Mount St. Mary's. Mississippi State and Baylor. I only go with the SEC, or I don't know. I like Baylor. We're going to take Baylor. Oregon and Liberty. One of those 5-12s. could be an upset alert, but we're going to take Altman in Oregon. Arizona, my boys, always disappoint in the tournament. Playing an Akron team that's very high scoring. Take the over in that game. We're going to take Arizona. BYU and VCU. Yeah, VCU is tough, man, but BYU's got so many big Mormons who can shoot. I'm going to go with VCU. Wisconsin, very disappointing. They couldn't beat Michigan against Montana, but we'll take Wisconsin. I don't know why Vandy's in the tournament. We'll take St. Mary's, Alabama. Robert Morris isn't bad, but Alabama, too much experience. Houston, Gonzaga, and Georgia. Georgia beat St. John's. But Gonzaga's been in the Sweet 16 like 7 years in a row, so we're going to take Gonzaga. This could be another upset. Clemson and McNeese. McNeese is pretty good. I like Clemson. Purdue. I don't like Purdue. They lost in the championship last year. High Point's pretty good. We're going to take an upset. High Point. Illinois over Texas or Xavier. I don't really like Texas or Xavier. We'll take Illinois. Kentucky. Kentucky getting a 3. Troy, the Sun Belt winner. We'll take Kentucky. UCLA's had a rough year, man. Utah State and these Mountain West teams. I'm going to take UCLA and take Tennessee over Wofford. Now Auburn and Creighton. We're going to go with Auburn. Oh, here's my Cinderella. UC San Diego, the Tritons. It's my Cinderella team. How about this? North Carolina. No, we don't like North Carolina. We're going to go North Carolina or Iowa State. Take Izzo over Marquette. Now this is tough here. Florida and UConn. What if UConn pulls it off? I don't think they will. We're going to go with Florida. Memphis and Maryland. I like Memphis. We're going Memphis. Penny of Drake. Going to be the other sleeper. The Cinderella Drake. We're going to go with Pitino over Bill Self. St. Duke and Baylor. That could be interesting. We'll take Duke. Oregon and Arizona, an old Pac-12 matchup. Well, hopefully Arizona can find a way to get to the Sweet 16. Duke, Arizona. VCU and Wisconsin. We're going to take Wisconsin. I like St. Mary's, but too much talent on Alabama this year. We're going to go with Alabama. Houston, I know. What if Gonzaga beats Houston or UConn beats Florida? Now we're going to take Houston. Clemson and High Point. I'm not bold enough to say High Point's going to the Sweet 16, so we're going to take Clemson. Illinois and Kentucky. We'll take Kentucky to get to the Sweet 16 with a matchup with Tennessee, SEC matchup. So my Sweet 16 here, UC San Diego, but it's over with Auburn. I'm going to take Michigan State over North Carolina. Florida and Memphis. I like Memphis, but we're going to go with Florida. The Drake runs over. We're going to take St. John's. I mean, what if Arizona could beat Duke, but probably not. Wisconsin and Alabama. Now we're going to take Bama, Duke and Bama. Houston and Clemson. We're going to go with Houston and Tennessee. So here we're going to take Izzo over Auburn and make the Final Four. Here we're going St. John's. We're going to take Duke, and we're going to take Houston. Now, let's see if we're going to pick St. John's to win the whole thing. We got to get St. John's over Pitino over Izzo. And how about Houston beats Duke? So we'll have St. John's and Houston in the final. We're going to take St. John's in a low-scoring game, 139. Well, there you go, St. John's over Houston. Michigan State, 2 2s and 2 1s. St. John's over Michigan State. Houston over Duke. St. John's and Patino cutting it down.